Hello and welcome back to my craft room. It is day 23 of my Celebrating 61 project, and because I've had a busy couple of days I have got to do a double whammy today. This is the second time I've skipped a day, so I can't let this become a habit. I need to keep on top of it. But to be fair, it's largely due to a severe bout of better arthritis. Well, with Mother's Day and then having a lovely day out with a friend yesterday, I just haven't got to it, so I'm going to catch up now. Let's show you what how I got on with day. So this is day 21. So the prompt I pulled was laughs, and I ended up not doing this symbol because I didn't think it'd be too clear what that was, especially given that the piece of fabric that I pulled was quite patterned. So in the end I decided to pick up the gold in the fabric, and I used some gold thread. I hate working with this stuff, but I do like the effect it has. And instead of doing that smiley mouth, I did the keyboard shortcut for smile, which is the colon followed by the capital D. I use that a lot on Facebook and YouTube and things. So I went with that because to me that does mean laugh, so that's fine. Yeah, I quite like that. Simple, short and sweet. It needed to be. So that is going to join my pile of my growing pile of pieces now. Yeah, quite happy with how this is working out so far. And it's time to pull. This is almost my favourite bit. Pull the inspiration for not just day 22 but day 23 as well. So let's pull the fabric first. Oh, I've pulled two at once. Well, that can be the two then, can't it? Just snip that off because it just annoys me. It's beautiful scissors. One of my lovely birthday presents. My backing is coming off. I will have to stitch that in, but it doesn't matter. It still helps to give the silk a bit of body when I'm stitching into it. So I will just, the first thing I always do is turn all the edges in. So I'll turn the edges in, tack all around, and that will hold this in place. So it'll be fine. It'll be fine. So we've got this kind of quite a deep kind of almost, I suppose, almost raspberry pink. And this orange. I love pink and orange, as you know. And then we've got a much softer, more sort of dusky pink with a little print in it. So I'm going to pull two different paper prompts at the same time, and I suppose I could choose which one goes with which, really. Right. Oh, feels like I might have to. If I've got more than two, I'll take the two off the top. Oh, I have got more than two. I've got four. Right, put them back. Look, we seem to be a bit foodie. There seem to be a lot of food prompts going on at the moment. So this one is Dal and Rice. You can spell it with an H in as well, but yeah. This time I spelt it with just D-A-L. Dal and Rice, my childhood comfort food. My mum's let's come back up to my mum's grandmother was Anglo-Indian, and I think the family recipe came from her initially. And each of us, I suppose each generation and each one of us in the family has put our own spin on it, added our own little tweaks to it. My dal recipe has changed from how I used to do it when I was younger. I mean, for a start, I put coconut milk in mine now. That's a departure. I don't think you could even get that in tins here when Mum would have been cooking it. But yeah, Dal and Rice, it's something I cook at least once a week. It's healthy, it's cheap, it's very nutritious, and you can make a huge batch of it and it tastes even better the next day. You can put stuff with it and tart it up a bit, or you can just have a plain old bowl of Dal and Rice. Lovely. One of my favourite things. And I always think of my mum when I'm making it and eating it. So yeah, Dal and Rice. And so let's go back to this. So that's that one. Kind of feeling like maybe like shape wise I'd be better off putting that one with that one, so I think yeah. And then this one is wildlife, and I've done a hedgehog, but we always enjoy, although we live on the outskirts of a town, you still get wildlife in the garden. Obviously you get lots of birds, and last year we had a baby squirrel. Sadly it did die in the end, but for a few days we tried feeding it and looking after it as best we could. But we used to have a lot of hedgehogs where we were before. We've had muntjac deer come into the garden, and yeah, John was out walking yesterday and spotted two hares, so we always get a thrill when we see some wildlife, and we love to see it in the garden. Maybe not, not rats and things, but we did used to have a cute little mouse in our old garden. Used to live in one of the outhouses and shoot back and forth across the wall. We used to spend hours. It would it would peek out of its little hole, shoot across. How it went, like how they grip onto a wall like that, shoot across so fast you could hardly see it, grab a nut from the bird feeder and shoot back into its little hole again. And maybe we should have been worried that we had mice living in the outhouse, but we didn't. I wouldn't have been so I wouldn't have been so thrilled to see a rat doing the same thing. That's different. But a cute little mouse. Anyway, yeah, so wildlife brings me a lot of joy and a lot of happy memories from childhood as well, when we moved from kind of inner city London down to a very rural area in Devon in the southwest of England. Suddenly we were surrounded by wildlife, and my mum used to go and do she joined the hunt saboteurs, the fox hunting saboteurs, so they'd go out with bags of aniseed and stuff, and I don't know if that lures the fox away from all the hounds, or I don't know how that works, but anyway, yeah. And one time the hunt was away in the distance, and the fox just came up to our little 5-bar gate and sort of just rested its snout on the 5-bar and looked at us. It was really strange. I've never forgotten that. Anyway, so yeah, a lot of memories and a lot of happiness associated with wildlife one way or another. So that's something I want to celebrate as well. So I need to knock both those out really quickly. I'm going to do them both this evening. They're both reasonably straightforward. We'll see. So tomorrow will be day 24. Yeah, I'm over a third of the way through. I'm getting there. Thanks as always for those of you who are still kind of watching along and cheering me on from the sidelines. It does help keep me motivated so this doesn't end up being another one of those UFOs sitting in a bag somewhere that I never get round to finishing off. I'm going to do that. I've also got the paper version here ready to go, so I'll do that later this afternoon as well. And I need to stop waffling now and crack on with it, don't I? Thank you very much for joining me today, and I will see you again tomorrow.